Hey, what's up, everyone? How you doing? It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. So I'm a little bit sick, so I'm sorry about that. But let's talk about this current news that just broke. I think yesterday someone told me that, well, for those of you who don't know, Blizzard and Activision pulled their games prior to the after the launch of the service GeForce Now, and I think it was like a few days after the service of GeForce Now officially became the service and exited out of the beta. This was, I believe, February 12th or something like that, just before Valentine's Day. And I think they pulled their games out just right around the corner on Friday, Valentine's Day. So Bethesda now is doing the same thing like Activision and Blizzard. So that's three major companies, and it was a pretty big deal. Blizzard, Activision with Call of Duty, Black Ops, Blizzard with World of Warcraft and Overwatch and all the other games they have. And then you got Bethesda, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, Doom Eternal. I mean, there's going to be a lot of games that you're not going to be able to play on GeForce Now. So my question is, why would then people bother paying $5 a month and then play only 6 hours, limited time with 1080p? GeForce, listen, NVIDIA's got to do a better job on convincing us as to why we should jump in. I cannot bring my own games because you don't support them. And you need to... Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you how it is. And honestly, before I tell you how it should be, I want to read you this, and I want you to see for yourself. This is from The Verge. Funny thing is about The Verge. The Verge did a video not too long ago where they said that NVIDIA, it's pretty much making Google Stadia pointless. It's dominating Google Stadia. I don't think so. How are they dominating when they're losing the games, when people will be able to play Doom Eternal at Google Stadia, but they won't be able to play it on GeForce Now? So how they're dominating? I've been so critical of Phil Harrison, but I think Phil Harrison understands how publishing and developing works. And I think Phil Harrison understands how publishers feel about cloud gaming, and that you have to work with them, that you have to make deals with them, and that you have to invest money. So this is a long haul. And I don't think NVIDIA understands that. NVIDIA think that, let's just bring all these developers on board. No, you're going to have to pay them some money. You're going to have to actually make some kind of a deal with them. They're not going to do it for free. No one's going to do anything for free, NVIDIA. So anyway, let's read this really quick. I'm sorry I'm a little bit sick, so I apologize for that. NVIDIA GeForce Now cloud gaming service has had somewhat rocky launch. Yeah, they did. And yet you are making videos, Verge, that they're dominating. So what's up with that? Anyway, GeForce Now cloud gaming service has had somewhat rocky launch since it exited beta earlier this month, and it's getting even rockier. No kidding. The company says it's now losing games for major publishers, Bethesda, Softworks, and that's a pretty big deal, man. Bethesda's got Elder Scrolls, they got Skyrim 5, they've got Doom, Rage. I mean, there's tons of games that are going to be, pulling out of here. Fallout 3, Fallout 4, So that's not going to be good, including the Doom. But anyway, I just named some of the games. This announcement comes just a week after GeForce Now lost access to all Activision Blizzard titles due to licensing dispute. apparently NVIDIA had access to Activision Blizzard titles when GeForce Now was still in beta. Of course they'll let you have access when you're in beta, but once you start profiting money, okay, they don't mind people using their services that they pay for through a... Here's I want to explain a couple of things to people who don't understand how this works. I'm sorry I'm sick, but I'm going to try to explain this and how this works. Why there's a picture of some chick holding her... Jesus Christ. Anyway. Verge, what's with these advertisements, alright? Here's how it works. Major publishers, major developers, when you start the game, there's always the stuff you gotta read, right? There's a fine print that you gotta read. Those are the agreements and conditions to you agree when you click yes to play the game. Okay? It doesn't matter that you paid for it. It doesn't matter that you paid your hard-earned cash for it. You still click and sign on that agreement. So, on that agreement it says that they don't allow any profit from third party on the cloud gaming. But you can use cloud gaming with their service if it's free. Meaning that they don't mind if you use some kind of streaming to play the game that you paid for them, or using their subscription service. They don't mind you streaming that game if it's a free, non-profitable cloud game. Cloud service. What I'm trying to say in other words is Bethesda and Blizzard, they don't care if you are using a streaming like remote play or something that you can stream and take with you on your phone if it's free, if it's not profitable. If no one's profiting any money, they don't care. As long as you pay for them and their games and their service, they don't care if you use that to stream the games that you paid for them. But when you are using a service that you're paying $5 a month and they're profiting money, NVIDIA, then that's against the agreement. So they don't want you to do that. They don't like, NVIDIA profiting easy money from something that they actually made and they created, and they're profiting that easy money. They don't want them to do that. And it makes sense. When I think about it, kind of makes sense. That's really, then anyone, look, I could be successful too. All I would have to do is create some invest into a big giant server and then just, put all these games for you guys to play. And I think this is going to be an issue. This is going to be a problem for Shadow PC. This is why Shadow PC is not going to survive. I'm telling you right now, forget about Shadow PC. They're not going to survive because if NVIDIA is having a difficult time, you think some guy from France, they're going to let him just do whatever the hell he wants? Right now, he's not that big. But once he becomes big, once people start, signing up for Shadow PC, same thing's going to happen with Shadow PC. Okay? You can't, guys, developers, publishers, they don't like you exploiting their games to profit money. Okay? That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is, guys. Then everybody would be able to make easy money. Everyone would be able to make and be successful. There's a reason for these laws. So who's at fault for this? NVIDIA. NVIDIA should have thought about this, instead of just taking a roll of a dice, rolling the dice, and let's see what happens. So let's continue. After GeForce Now entered what NVIDIA is calling its public trial, there was also reportedly a disagreement between the two companies over the platform's model, which allows subscribers to buy games on their platforms, like Steam, and use them on GeForce Now. I think this would have been better, honestly. At least you will have access to all the games. Here's what I want to say. This part right here. And I know what was going on. I heard about this. They had they have different ideas. NVIDIA had different ideas. They thought about, hey, why don't we just let people use our services, our servers, and then let them buy the games from Steam, Bethesda, and all the Blizzard, from all these EA Access. Let them buy the games directly from them, and let's make some kind of an agreement where they can purchase the game directly on NVIDIA. Meaning that even though you already have bought that game on Steam, but now if you want to play it on GeForce Now, you would have to pay again for the same game. Now, this would suck for a consumer. This would suck for a consumer, obviously. You have to purchase twice the game to play it on GeForce Now. It would suck. But this would be like the only way that they would be able to bring these games. So they said, no, we're not going to do that. Let me continue reading here. GeForce Now, it's a major difference between NVIDIA service and other models like Google Stadia. And it's arguably much more consumer friendly. I agree. But it also means some publishers like Activision won't play ball if cloud gaming users aren't buying a separate copy of a game. You see, and this is going to be the major issue and the major problem for the cloud gaming, because you got to remember, man, these companies, they're not a charity, they're not a Red Cross, okay, they're not there curing the cancer, they're out there to make money. So you have to make some kind of deals with them. If you don't make deals with them, then you're not going to see those games. They're not going to let you use their games to profit money. Unless you put it in beta again, like Xbox is doing. Xbox is not charging anything, but once Xbox starts charging a fee, guess what? Some of those games going to go away. Like Soul Calibur and the others, MotoGP and the stuff that they don't have a control over the publisher. Yeah. So guys, this is why I'm making this video, because I think this is a very important part that we need to talk about when it comes to cloud gaming. And I'm sorry for being sick, but I am a little bit, as you can see. Look, I don't want to read this through this whole. I don't want to read through this whole thing. Yes, supposedly GeForce Now is going to let you play Cyberpunk 2077 directly on the day when it comes out on their service, the day one on their service. But who knows? We don't know. Anything can change between now and September. So I don't really trust this. Things could change. CD Projekt Red could change their mind. Contracts can be broken. Dude, we don't know. This is just NVIDIA trying to give some reassurance, like why they should stay, why you should stay with them. And I think this is the important part. And that's why I personally wanted to talk to you guys about this. And let's go to the GeForce Now. Really quick, I want to go to GeForce Now. Really quick. And like the main reason I'm making this video, because I want to address this. Hold on. I want to address this problem that's going to be affecting other cloud gaming services. Not just the GeForce. I think what the NVIDIA GeForce has proved to us is that the publishers and developers are not ready for this. They're not ready for cloud gaming. And for some, that might be a good news. Some would say, well, I'm super glad that that's the case, because I want to own my physical copy. But son, cousin, you don't really own your games. And I said this before. Individuals who think, if the cloud gaming services fail, that maybe I'll still have the ownership of my games. No, you don't. I don't care that your game, it's downloaded to that hard drive. You still have to be connected to the internet. You still have to be prompted and sign in with your username and password to that account for them to verify that you don't have a bootleg, that you have a real copy of the game. So you still are required and prompted to sign in, and you're still required and prompted to have the internet to use that game. Okay? So you don't own your games, okay? Trust. I mean, sorry, but I mean, I'm sorry to bust your, to pop your cherry or whatever, but you don't own your games, dude. This is not 1998. This is not 1999. You don't really own your games, guys. I even made a video about that. Don't fool yourself thinking that you own your games. Don't fool yourself thinking, when I buy a PlayStation 5, when I buy Xbox Series X, that all of a sudden I'm going to own my game. No, you don't. I'm sorry. You don't own your games. Okay? Those days are over. Unless you have a cartridges, unless you have an original PlayStation that has original CD-ROMs, or PlayStation 2 with the original DVD-ROMs, then you can say, hey, I own. You can say I own the entire collection of PlayStation 2 games and PlayStation 3 games because they're reading from a disc. You can say that. But PlayStation 4, Xbox One X, PlayStation 5, X, SX, X Series X, you don't own your games, guys. Okay? Same thing goes with a PC. So, what does this mean? Well, this really kind of sucks. It sucks for us. It doesn't suck for NVIDIA. NVIDIA is still going to find a way to profit money, but it sucks for us, the consumers, and that's what that's why I'm making this video. I'm not making this video to shed tears for these companies because they got money. Okay, they're billionaires. I don't care about them. I'm speaking for us, the consumers, the gamers. This is going to affect us. It's going to suck for us because we're the one paying for these games. We're the one paying for these services. If it wasn't for us, these companies would not exist. Like Blizzard, Activision, EA, they would not exist if it wasn't for us. They would go out of business, file a bankruptcy, whatever the hell. And that's that. Okay? But this is going to suck for us, guys. So this is really a bad news for cloud gaming, man. And I'm starting to understand the Phil Harrison. I've been critical of Phil Harrison. A lot of you have been critical of Phil Harrison. But I'm starting to understand why Phil Harrison did what he did and why Phil Harrison had to do what he had to do. Because Phil Harrison, it's privy to all of this. It's privy to how this works, how it works with the publishers, how it works with the legality of the bringing the games from the publishers and developers, the shareholders, the investors. There's so much here that needs to be tackled. And Phil Harrison knows that probably better than anybody because he's been in this industry for how many years? 20-something years. 28 years he's been in this industry. So he knows firsthand how it works. And obviously his best friend, Phil Spencer, knows that really well as well. How the legality issues are and how complex and complicated it is to get developers and publishers and shareholders to agree to bring their games onto their platforms and how much percentage are they getting and this and that. All of that stuff, guys, takes a long time. And I think this is the main reason, again, that people don't seem to understand. This is the main reason why it's taking such a long time to bring the games on Google Stadia. Now, I just wish that you would hear this from Phil Harrison and not from me. If Phil Harrison said this, if he did an interview where he told you, hey guys, this is the reason why it's taking such a long time for me to bring the games onto Google Stadia. This is why it's taking such a long time. If he had said this, if he had done an interview to tell this to you personally, I think it would have been a different story. I think people would have understand. They would say, okay, well, he's right. He can't just magically bring those games to the platform, So it takes time due to the shareholders, lawyers. Dude, look, bureaucracy to the worst level of legality issues. Okay, there's so much you have to go through, man. Have you ever tried to buy a house? You know how long it freaking takes? Gotta go through this, gotta go through that, gotta wait for the closing, see if the down payment process, check your credit, blah, 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 blah. Takes a long freaking time. Okay? Takes a long freaking time. Now imagine the kind of time it takes to bring those games and to get the developers to sign the contract deal, just to get them to sign the contract deal agreement for whatever, 2 years, 3 years, or whatever. Takes a long time. Negotiations and all this other stuff. So, hopefully this video kind of gives you some better understanding as to why cloud gaming may not be what I thought it will be. And I could be wrong now. Maybe the cloud gaming is not going to be to this extent that I thought it might be. But I still, part of me thinks that 8 years from now, 10 years from now, they're going to find a way to make some agreements, work around with these laws and copyright laws and legality and shareholders and investments. I think they're going to find some compromises, because if both parties can make enough money, then both parties will agree to it. And there's always ways to fix things around, change some policies, and negotiate, and it takes time. And I think when it comes to this cloud gaming, this will take time, guys. Cloud gaming, it's still far, far away. It's still not where it needs to be. Obviously, nothing's gonna change me playing locally. You know, I was playing locally the other day. I mean, you know, having that beefy, juicy graphics card, you know, it's hard to beat that. You know, playing Doom Eternal on your beefy, juicy graphics card, playing what you call it, Cyberpunk 27 comes out this September on your big, juicy graphics card. It's difficult to replace that. I know it's expensive, but you get what you pay for, man. You know, I hate to use that old stupid cliche, but you get what you paid for, man. You know, it's really that simple. So yeah, this kind of sucks, and it's not going to get any better for NVIDIA. I know they're backpedaling right now, 1 million subscribers, and listen, once they see that all these games are that they're losing all the games, they cannot play their favorite games. Listen, NVIDIA, listen to me very closely. If you're watching this, NVIDIA, and I'm pretty sure you are, if your players, your founders like me, if I can't, I know I'm sick, but I'm sure you can understand my words. If I can't play my favorite games that I paid for, what is the purpose and what is the point of me paying $5 a month and limited 6 hours in 1080p on your service? I'm all ears. I'm all ears, and I'm all eyes. Please tell me, counter that and debate that, please. I'm waiting, NVIDIA. Okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sick, but yeah, it is what it is, man. So I don't know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on this? I think this is bad news for cloud gaming in general. Now, I don't know what Jeff Bezos will do. Maybe Jeff Bezos, you know, he has that money, so he can, you know, make an offer. I think Amazon could be more successful because Amazon does have money. They have unlimited wealth, and they can make an offer to these publishers and developers, an offer they can't refuse. Okay? And when you make an offer they can't refuse with a bag of cash, well, who's going to say no? Right? So Amazon has that ability. Also, Amazon has the ability to create their own games, like a New World, because they have money. They don't listen. Amazon, Jeff Bezos doesn't even need to make partnership with other publishers. Jeff Bezos can hire game designers to create games. Jeff Bezos can make his own studio, Amazon Gaming Studios, where he's going to create his own games. He's going to be able to hire people, the top of the line, designers, programmers. They'll be able to create the games, the best possible games that they can create exclusively for Amazon. So watch out for Jeff Bezos. And always, listen, there should be a t-shirt. People should wear a t-shirt that says, watch out for Jeff Bezos, for JB. Watch out for JB. Once the JB comes in, dude, the guy's dominating everything. In food market, deliveries, everything. The guy's dominating. Now he wants to compete with Elon Musk, too, with the SpaceX program. He wants to make his own SpaceX. Today I cannot talk. SpaceX program. So watch out for JB, man. I'm telling you. Jeff Bezos, Amazon. Honestly, currently right now, if I had to bet my money, and I'll say, and I know Brendan is probably going to agree with me on this one. Probably maybe GT as well will agree with me on this one. And maybe Stadia Cloud Gaming might agree with me on this as well. I think if I had to bet my money, if I had to place a bet, if somebody asked me, oh, where are you going to place your bet? Which one of these services are you going to place your bet? I would say 100% without any doubt, Amazon. Big time. Amazon, big time. JB, Jeff Bezos. Dude, that guy. If he's going to be creating his own exclusive games and hiring these top-of-the-line designers from Japan, China, Europe, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, Canada, America, if he's going to be creating his own exclusive games and you can only play them on Amazon exclusively, dude, yeah, he's just going to dominate. He's going to dominate. Even PlayStation. Now PlayStation has a real competitor. Listen, PlayStation 5. Now you got a real competitor. Amazon. Amazon. Forget the Microsoft. No. I think Sony's biggest competitor is going to be Amazon. Mark my words. And I'm going to end this video by saying that Sony's biggest competitor is going to be Amazon. Mark my words. Alright, well, this video turned out to be half an hour. I know it's a long video, guys, but I can't do these videos like in 5 minutes because there's so much to unpack here. There's so much to be covered here. There's so much to be said here. There's so much that I had to explain here that I can't just simply put it on a teleprompter and do some half-baked 5-minute video. Okay, I had to do it like this so that way you guys have better understanding as to where I'm coming from and what are my views on this whole cloud gaming thing. So I would say Amazon, definitely watch out for Amazon. And we'll find out pretty soon, next month. Next month's going to be very interesting. February was very boring. Boring month. God, awfully boring month. But, and nobody likes February. It's just such a boring ass month. Except the Valentine. But March is going to be super interesting. And one more thing I want to say before I end the video. I get it. I understand. And hopefully this paints a big picture for you. Why Phil Harrison is, it's taking such a long time for Phil Harrison to bring the games to Google Stadia. Why it's taking such a long time. So, not that I'm giving him a pass. He had plenty of time. Google had plenty of time to create their own games. They had plenty of time to approach the publishers and developers. They had plenty of time to do that. Okay, so I'm not giving them a pass. Okay, I'm not going to give these billionaires, trillionaires a pass. okay? But I understand why it's taking such a long time, okay? And now you know why, because of these legality issues that they're present with the cloud gaming. But what do you guys think? I want to hear your opinions. Please leave a comments down below, but be respectful to each other. Don't enforce your opinion to other people. Nobody is right and nobody's wrong because they're opinions. Okay, they're your opinions, so therefore they're not facts. They're just your opinions. So don't enforce your opinions onto other people, please. Be respectful, but you can debate. You can debate, but don't shove your opinion into someone else. Just respect each other's opinion, okay? But I want to hear what you guys have to say, okay? All right? So leave the comments down below. Let me know. Well, that kind of rhymes, doesn't it? All right, guys. Is there going to be a live stream later on today? Possibly. There's going to be a live stream. But first I need to drink some tea, bro. I need to blow my nose because I'm like, dude, this weather's so bipolar. It's a bipolar weather, man. First it's hot, then it's cold, then it's hot, then it's cold, and windy, cold, hot. Jesus, you know. Anyway, I'll see you guys later on. Let me know what you think, please, guys. Write down the comments. Be respectful. But I'm curious to see what everyone has to say. Thank you.